Hey there, guys. Sunday morning VIPs, last minute notes, a little bit of showing you how to set up Domination Station. I see a lot of people having trouble with getting lineups with the right stack exposures and whatnot in them. And here's a way to fix that. You're probably clamping the controls down on the Domination Station a little bit too hard. This takes all of 5 minutes to set up. You've done some research. Hopefully you've seen videos like box checkers. You've listened to the podcasts. You've got a good idea of what your player pool might look like. But let's really quickly recap what we're looking for primarily out of Shark Chronicles and winning the Millie. If it's going to win in the Millie, it's going to win every other damn tournament out there. So you might as well just use those criteria. Try to simplify it for yourself. Don't worry so much about, is that a 47.5 point spread? Does that qualify? What about the 4.5 point favorite? Does that, no. Generally speaking, if you look at the most of his numbers in those blurbs, they're under 7 point spreads. They're closer than a 7 point spread, and their game totals of 46 to 47 or higher. Those are the criteria that generally hit. So lump them together in one big broad-based category and say, I'm going to target games less than a 7 point spread and over 47 point total. If I find those, I'm going to call the game a potential shootout, and I'm going to make myself eligible to stack both sides of that game. An exception might be if you find a Tom Brady type situation where he's a 12-point favorite, but he's implied to score a lot of points, and you know he spreads the ball around because he's got running back issues. You might include a Tom Brady, but you probably aren't going to run it back with the other side. Or you might run it back with one player, but you're not going to game stack the other side and use that other quarterback per se. So let's look at the Domination Station here really, really quickly and show you how we set it up, okay? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to target our quarterbacks. We're looking at 6 point spread, 47 points, so very iffy. Maybe you could include that, maybe not. Odds of it shooting out are probably not great, but it does hit that criteria with the 6 point spread and a 47 point total or better. Same here, 45.5, probably not a game we're going to target. 3.5 point spread, 48 points, could shoot out. You might want to target both sides. Do you really see Tua going off? I don't know. If you do, include him. If you don't, don't. 1.5 point spread, close spread, 45 point total, not high enough. 48 points, 13.5 point spread for the Browns. No, we know we like Chubb. We don't expect Baker to go off. What about the other side of the game and garbage time and shootouts? Really? You're going to do that with the Houston Texans? See, you just don't waste your time. Just move on. 6 point spread, 43 point total, not high enough. 3.5 point spread, 44.5 point total, not high enough. 3 point spread, 49 point total, yes, please, both sides. Jimmy G and Jalen Hurts, potential shootout. 3.5 point spread, 48 point, yes, please, both sides. You might not be that high on Carson Wentz, but strange shit happens, and this hits the Millie Maker criteria. Bottom line is the Millie Maker also focuses on the favored team. So you're really more favoring Matt Stafford, you're favoring Jimmy G, you're favoring maybe some Jameis Winston, whatever, some Big Ben. If these don't inspire confidence in you, don't use the game. 12.5 point spread for Tampa, that'd be the Tom Brady side. 4 point spread, 50 points, that's both sides, probably leaning a little bit more towards Kyler Murray's side. 3 points here, probably leaning on the Chargers side, but yes, Dak is obviously a throwing machine right now. 6.5 point spread, 53 point total, probably leaning on the Russell Wilson side, but you could include some Tannehill if you want. If you're predicting the bounce back or whatever, that's fine. But those are the games you're generally targeting. You're going to come down here and set this up with a legacy stack rule. Quarterback, no less than 2 players from the same team, no less than 1 player from the opposing team. I know in the backtesting video, Geek did not include running backs. I have found in my own backtesting data that the running back didn't matter. Tannehill with Derrick Henry was fine. In a lot of cases, it helped. So I'm including them. That's where I'm going to deviate a little bit, but I'm not getting very far off the system. If you notice, I'm pretty much doing the same thing. Legacy stacking, going by what I'm going to call QB and 2 pass catchers, just 3 from that team and then 1 from the other team. So a 3x1 stack. I like 3x0 and 3x1 stacks the most. In my back testing, they're proving to be more lethal than a 2x0 or a 2x1, or even a 3x2 or 3x3 or some crazy number like that. 3x0, 3x1 seems to be about the sweet spot. I'm going to come down here, tournament mode, 3 uniques, max 1 against the defense. It doesn't have to use one. I'm just saying it can use one. 100 lineups, 130 cap per Geeks video this week. Not a lot of running back. I will allow some, but I'm going to put a cap on them. I'm not going to allow very many tight ends. I will allow them on occasion. And then I will allow up to 100% of wide receivers. If the Domination Station wants to give me all wide receivers in the flex, I'm going to let it. I'm not going to let it give me all running backs or all tight ends. I'm going to only allow it to give me a little bit, and then I'm going to force it over into the wide receivers because we know that's what works. But again, I'm leaving it open for the Domination Station to make a lot of my decisions. Forcing in low-owned players, no, I'm going to get plenty of those anyway. Randomization, I'm finding anywhere between 10% and 25, 30%. Doesn't really matter. Just pick a number, mix them up a little bit, kind of keep going with it. On the QB page, 15% global stack exposure, cap. That's all I'm doing. You can do 20 if you want a little bit more of some guys. You're going to want to force this out. This is going to force at least 6 or 7 different quarterbacks into my MME 100 lineup builds. This is also a great way to get ideas for 3-max. Build a lot of different lineups with the quarterback stacks that you like, and then go through your lineups hand by hand and pick your favorite ones for 3-max. I want some Kyler Murray, I'll take that lineup. I want some Russ Wilson, I'll take that lineup. I want some Josh Allen, I'll take that lineup. Boom, done. There's my 3-max. If you prefer Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, and Russell Wilson, fine. If you prefer Jalen Hurts, Matt Stafford, and Tom Brady, fine. I don't give a crap what your combinations are. You're targeting the right games, and you found some lineups that appealed to you. That's all that matters. The rest of this, there is no black and white formula. There is no, hey, what's my lineup look like? I don't know. I don't know. I know if it's fundamentally sound. That's all I know. I don't know which ones are going to go off and which one is Najee Harris going to go off or is Damian Harris going to go off. I don't know. I know they're both in good spots. So if I see one or both in your lineup, I'm going to tell you it looks fine. Because it does. Okay? How much Chase Edmonds would you? I don't know. How much are you comfortable with? I'd be more focused on the receivers because Chase Edmonds ends up getting vultured on the goal line by Kyler Murray. So I would tend to keep him out of there. But if it needs him to make the salaries fit, I'll game stack with him. Give me Chase Edmonds and DeAndre Hopkins and run it back with Dalvin Cook or run it back with Justin Jefferson or whatever. Fine. It's a 3x1 stack. It looks great. Use it. Okay? Don't get so hung up on all the little bitty details because nobody fucking knows. All right? Build within sound fundamentals and roll up the Yahtzee cup and let it go. So you can see you like some, you adore some. These are my preferential favorites. Some of these guys I like more than others, etc., etc., etc. And then I've unchecked most of the other guys that I don't even want to see. I don't even want to see Big Ben. If he burns me, he burns me. I don't even want to see Matt Ryan or Tua. If they burn me, they burn me. I think Jimmy Garoppolo's in a good spot. I think that Jalen Hurts is in a good spot, but I don't necessarily want to see a ton of them. I'll include some. I'll let it show me some of those guys. Maybe I'll make the decision. Maybe I won't. And then I'm not touching running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense, none of it. No need. Let the Domination Station hit, because the more you put restrictions on this tool, the more it's going to bog down on you. After that, all you do is you optimize, you make yourself your 100 lineups, it spits right out. I'll show you here in a second. We'll do it again. But I look over here. What are my stacks? I got a lot of Dak. I got my cap on 5 or 6 or 7 of these guys. Dak, Josh, Brady, Herbert, Stafford, Russ Wilson, and then a little bit of Kyler, which if I want, I can change the love to an adore, get a little bit more Kyler Murray, maybe change his projection to get a little more, maybe put a 10% minimum on him, a 10% minimum, get a little bit more of him. It'll come at the expense of somebody else. So you click optimize once, you look at how it changed Kyler Murray, and then you look through it, who it might have affected. Okay? But then Ryan Tannehill, Jalen Hurts, and Jimmy Garoppolo. Like I said, a couple lineups each. That's fine. That works. Once I've got that, I'm going to go through and look here. I've got 66% Chris Carson, 55%, 53%, 44% Jets D. The deal here is you've got to let some of these guys get big exposures. I'm finding again in the back testing that if we allow some of this, Chris Carson has a good day, Najee Harris has a good day, Cooper Kupp has a good day, whatever, you're going to want him in a lot of your lineups. That's what's going to push most of your lineups deeper into the money and give them fighting shots. If you cap Chris Carson down to 40%, it actually hurts you. Now, if you hate Najee Harris, cap him down or eliminate him, whatever you want to do. But allow some of these players to be highly owned, and you're going to want to be uncomfortable here. And you're not playing for just this week. Don't forget that. You're not playing for just week 2. You're playing for week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7, week 8. Some of these weeks you're going to have bad weeks. Some of these weeks you're going to have good weeks. Out of 10 weeks back tested, I've had 3 good weeks, and they have more than made up for the entire season. Why? Because I'm allowing some of these players to be very highly exposed. If I cut them down, I'm flattening out those winning weeks when the projections really, really smash. That's what we're targeting. That's what we're trying to do. I don't know when that week's going to be. It could be this week. It could have been last week. It could be week 7 or week 11. I have no idea. What I know is this works. Go through your lineups. Dak, CD, Cooper with a run back of Allen. So it's using both Harris's, big whoop. Troutman at tight end, big whoop. Carson in the flex, big whoop. Don't sweat that crap. I mean, if you want to, sure, switch somebody out, whatever. You don't like Troutman and whatever, then buy down some Chris Carson down into a 50 some odd 100, Damian Harris type of running back, and then come up at Troutman a little bit or whatever. Okay? You can play with these if you want, but I'm not really worried about it when I'm making 100 lineups. Some of these lineups are going to be good. A lot of these lineups are going to be bad. I only need one of them to be really, really good. 3 or 4 of them, fine. I'm not trying to get, of my 100 lineups, I'm not trying to get 60-something of them through the cash game line. I can. This works. It has happened. But I'm really trying to get the 1 or 2 that can win it all. Okay? So keep your focus in the right place. Don't worry about all these other mediocre side piece plays or whatever, right? Dak, Lamb, Cooper, run back, Allen again. There's Higbee in the tight end. There's Chase at wide receiver. Carson comes up here, and you've got a wide receiver in the flex, and you don't have Najee Harris in this lineup, and you're using Eagles defense. Big whoop. Okay? There's a Herbert lineup with Cook and Allen. Okay? Run it back with CeeDee Lamb, Jets, Corey Davis, fine. Najee Harris, Chris Carson, fine. Cooper Kupp, fine. Don't tell me he's not a good play. Scroll down a little bit more to some of these, lots of these Dallas and Chargers lineups, very sexy. Tom Brady with Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin, fine. Kupp and Higbee, fine. 2 pass catchers is fine in a secondary stack. If you don't have, as long as your primary quarterback is stacked with a couple. Okay? It's fine. Najee Harris, Mike Davis as a run back. Fine. Probably won't work, but you know what? This one probably won't work either. This one probably won't work either. Right? But we only need the 1 or 2 to work, and the 1 or 2 that work usually come out of the blue and are unpredictable anyway. So let's keep going. There's another Tom Brady lineup, another Tom Brady. There's a Josh Allen with Beasley and Diggs. Fine. Run it back with Waddle. Fine. Carson, Harris, Fant, Lamb, Steelers D with Najee Harris. Great secondary correlation there. Fine. These lineups are fundamentally built. I don't give a crap which one you submit to me and say, how does it look? I'm going to tell you when I see a 3x1 game stack with other guys that are on short lists of plays, I'm going to say it looks great. Don't even waste your own time sweating over this crap. Just make a few lineups, make them fundamentally sound, and roll them out there. And it does not take long. Once you've got the Domination Station set up, you've minimally adjusted the tool. Look at it fly. Look at it fly. It's going to make me 100, 150, 200, 250 lineups. I go dump them in anywhere. If something works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's why we carry a bankroll. Stop sweating this stuff. The more you think about this stuff, the more you're going to get in your own effing way. And that's bad. Dak, CD, Cooper, Zeke. That one came up 4x1. Why? I don't know. It just did. Could it work? Sure. 1, 2, 3, Kupp and Higbee. Let's scroll down some more and look for some. There's another Brady. Evans and Godwin, fine. Allen Robinson, fine. Look at it. It's mixing them up with a little bit of the randomization. Some of these are going to work pretty well. Some of these are not. Maybe one of them contains the nuts. Who knows? This is essentially what DFS is these days. You come down in some ownership when a player is chalky. You come up in some ownership when a player is slipping under the radar. You throw some narratives out there, but largely you focus on the games most likely to go off. Focus on those games. Focus on the players most likely to lead that production. Put them in your optimizer. Make your optimizer pull them forward. Make it correlate games. Make it correlate defense and running back or quarterback and wide receivers or whatever. Make everything tie together and then throw a bunch of stuff out there because that will eventually find you a winner. Doing this one lineup at a time is going to take you years. Doing this 50, 100, 150 lineups at a time is going to do it 50, 100, or 150 times faster. Do you want to win the millie faster or slower? The choice is yours. Anyway, this is just a quick setup video showing you how to work the tool. 15 minutes right before lock. Let's rock this thing week 2. We'll do these a little bit more often if you'd like, but the bottom line is stop clamping down on the tool too much and stop overthinking everything because you're getting in your own way. Peace out, homies. Talk to you soon.